Peter V'landys, mate, he said the competition is going to go ahead into round 2, but they can change any time. What's the latest, Kenty?
Oh, look, the fact is, Matt, the simple reality is the game can't afford to not play.
Yeah.
The game is so sort of tied into the broadcast deal at the moment with the bulk of their money coming from there, the fact that there's not a lot of cash reserves. If the game was to stop playing right now, I think essentially you get about 3 months before the game would be broke.
Wow.
So the plan at the moment is to continue playing for as long as they can, and they'll keep playing. Round 3 hopefully will go ahead. The only thing I think that'll stop the competition is if a player tests positive.
So, Kenny, I was going to ask you that they spoke this morning about medical experts, pandemic experts that they've employed, advising them, but you're saying the decision to go forward is more to do with financial necessity.
Yeah, look, that's probably... They don't want to talk to that, but it has to go forward. There's not the money in the bank account, essentially, to be able to just say, well, let's just call it off and we'll come back in 2 months' time or when we know more. Essentially, the game is riding week by week.
Yeah.
The big drama that's come out of today, Matt, which I haven't heard too much about, which you might want to know, is that the Warriors are basically saying now that after playing next week on the Gold Coast against Canberra, they want to go home. Now, the NRL's going to spend this week now having emergency talks with the Warriors to try and stay here and keep getting as many rounds under the belt as they can before a decision ultimately has to be made to suspend the competition.
Wow.
If the Warriors stick to their guns, then essentially they'll be going to a bye. Wow. And it won't be a forfeit. It'll be a bye round and they'll delay the game.
Fergie, what do the players think? Are the players concerned, health-wise?
Yeah, definitely. Health is the most important thing at the end of the day. So, if someone obviously gets the coronavirus, obviously, surely the game will have to stop, I think.
It will.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Tonight, Lottoland, Kenty, some of the... we saw balls being sanitised. When the ball went into the crowd, they got there and they'd scrub the balls. The ball boys were wearing gloves.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look, it's probably not a bad idea, Matt. I'm not quite sure about how dangerous and contagious it is. I do know from a medical, like a health point of view, the players aren't largely at risk for long-term health. It's essentially a flu for the players. But where people are at risk is the fact that, one, it's highly contagious, and two, people who have already got some sort of ailment, which we can then, the players can then spread to, they're the people at serious health risk. So there's not a real danger there for the players' welfare as far as long-term health, but it's just more we've got to contain the contamination, to be honest.
Realistically, Kenty, where are we expecting to get to? Or is that just too hard to say? What round is...
We don't. Well, it depends how... Look, if the players keep up their measures to stay isolated and to try and keep as little contact with the wider public and can keep playing, they'll keep going. The NRL, ideally, would like to play all the way through. It'll only end once a player tests positive, because once that happens... His teammates have then got to be quarantined. Yeah. Whoever they've just played has got to be quarantined. There won't be a game that weekend, and that'll just corrupt the whole competition at that point. So until we get to that point, we keep playing.
Kenty, what's next? Round 2 is going to be played in front of empty stadiums.
Yes.
Where's the next step, if they have to take a next step? Is it moving 16 teams to Townsville?
Look, the NRL has been contacted. The players like this. A resort up in far north Queensland has said that they can accommodate all 16 teams.
Of course you would.
Tiki Club.
Good business for him. Good business for him.
So, but all
casino, is it? I'd go.
But that's been discussed. I don't think it's... Look, it's not off the table, but it's not at the forefront of their minds.
Yeah, you're talking about financially. Like, obviously, the clubs don't get the gate receipts and the revenue there, but how does it... So basically, the NRL is paid week to week by the broadcasters, is it? Or monthly?
Well, I don't know how often the payment is, but certainly, look, the broadcasters have paid $2 billion over the 5-year deal. So it's $400 million a year to put on 24 rounds or 25 rounds of competition, 8 games a week. Now, if the NRL says to the broadcasters, well, we can't put a competition on this weekend, we won't be playing these games, the broadcasters can't be expected to say, well, we'll keep tipping in $2 million a game that they're currently doing. It's just unfeasible.
The NRL hasn't got the money up front. They get a monthly...
Look, competitions around the world have all been suspended, OK? The organisations, the EPL, the NBA, who have suspended their competitions have got the financial might to be able to withstand a suspension to their competition and continue to play, to pay people and the rest of it. the NRL has a little bit of money there, but not a lot of money there. And given if they do, once they suspend the competition, that's it. When do you come back? Yeah. So they're going to play as long as they can. And the other part is too, I think it also plays into the NRL's hands today. Peter V'landys has been very strong in saying the government needs to come out and provide a stimulus package for the NRL. And a lot of people got their back up. Why should rugby league players get government money? But what you've got to understand there is rugby league's what they call an economic multiplier. They take money to make money. So players pay tax. Players, clubs, you suddenly got all the caterers, all the rest of it in. Some, not the South
Catch at the Roosters,
As the Players Association, have they been in touch with you guys?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, we get updated very frequently at the moment. It's day to day, so yeah, we're just playing it by ear like everyone else. Like we just want to know what's going on. I want to play footy. I love playing footy, but. Health is more important than playing football. But yeah.